Hi, I'm Mark Garcia, and I grew up in Wellswood, 2113 Erna Drive. I came back a couple years after college, so lived there approximately 18, 19 years. Cut my teeth there. Maybe 90% of the houses had kids with an age range of 5 years apart. From if you were, for myself, maybe at 6 or 7 when you start going outside, maybe even 5 because of older brothers and sisters and just older kids in the neighborhood who were nice who you play with through. So I'm 6 and maybe kids up to 12, and it just kept on progressing. So then you're 7 and 13, and you just awesome memories with playing basketball with older kids, bigger kids, and just very they worked together with everybody. So it was a great neighborhood sports street. They probably defined street sports in the neighborhood. We played football on the street, and of course it was very narrow, so the most beautiful, greatest memory was catching the ball, keeping both feet in on such a thin field. And that was awesome. That's all we did. Half the game was throw it to me, throw it right out of bounds so I could keep my feet in and fall into the yard. The summer nights were a beautiful thing because we'd play sports and do everything during the day. And at night, we played capture the flag or hide and go seek, and it was all over the neighborhood. I mean, it was I say all over the neighborhood, from Erna, curved down Dallas, and again, every house had at least 2 kids, maybe on average 2 or 3 kids, all the way up and different ages. So we play hide and go seek on summer nights through, it's getting dark at 8 o'clock and 11 o'clock, 10 o'clock when you're in 7th or 8th grade. That was a good time, very good. The fondest memories are pre-development. As you know, that Trinity School was built behind my house, but before there, I remember back to when it was a farm back there, and I think and they had a barn back there. I remember, and they had one time Joe Capitano had a horse there, but I remember when they had the farm. The Henry was his name. We would go and he'd grow onions, I believe, and learn how to plane onions. And he'd pay us 10 cents for, whatever it was, and we'd stick our finger in there and drop onion seeds in there. Everybody knew each other in the neighborhood, so you'd see them out as you're growing older, and everybody was pretty much a friend. I mean, you might have had, a couple guys that were sideways with each other, but to this day, even older, we talk about, hey, yeah, you grew up in the Wellswood. It was good to see. Wherever you see them in town, I say that was one of my. I'm playing pickleball with John Agliano, who was on the other side of the river, a Wellswood guy, and this other guy, Russell Rich, who was actually further out. He was Egypt Lake, but even Egypt Lake kind of was kind of encompassed because they played at Wellswood Little League. So actually Wellswood, the proper physical district, I think, but back then it encompassed Egypt Lake, which was out by, even went to Rome and Sly kind of around there. So it was a pretty expansive district too. And a lot of people out around there, which would be Sly and Armenia, would play at Wellswood. I remember Jester's Texaco was right on the corner of Armenia and Erna Drive, Texaco Station. A guy named Jester and his wife Barbara. ABC Pizza is where everybody would go after a football game. I will tell you another business was Andy's Ice Cream, and they had guava ice cream and watermelon ice cream at Andy's Ice Cream. I used to love it. It was right where Fiesta Plaza was, which is Tampa Bay. They called it Fiesta Plaza, but it was Tampa Bay and Armenia. And they had an Andy's Ice Cream there. It was awesome. Forgot the name of the bar across the street. It was owned by Doc Castellano. and he had a lot of the wrestlers would go there. Dusty Rhodes, Pac Song, Joe LeDuc, I believe Ric Flair, and they lived on Cimarron Drive and played Little League Baseball with them. But whenever Camilo would have a birthday party, consequently, his dad knew Dusty Rhodes from the bar. They'd come up and show up at the birthday parties, and that was back when you had wrestling Tuesday night at the Armory. So you had a short jaunt down. The Army, which is now the JCC, was a big. You just go down Armenia, go cut over, get to the Armory, and see all the wrestlers.